Hello, dear learners. Welcome to online class. This is Muhammad Jahangir Alam, English teacher, Rampur High School, Hajiganj, Chatpur. Hope you are hale and hearty by the grace of Almighty Allah. I am also fine. Dear learners, now I am present here to take a class for the students of class 9 and 10, and the subject is English second paper. The learners, be ready with your exercise book and English composition and grammar book. Dear learners, our today's topic is tech questions. It is a new topic for the students of class 9, and for the 10 it is not a new topic. So I request all of the students of class 9 be attentive and serious to this topic and to my lecture. The learners, let's start our topic. Our today's topic is tech questions. The learners, read the following conversation. Sam, it is a nice party, isn't it? Zinnia, yes, it is indeed. We are going to stay the whole night, aren't we? Sam, I think so. By the way, I have not seen you for a long time. Zinnia, I was in the USA for 6 weeks. Sam, oh, really? You didn't go there on business, did you? Zinnia, no, I didn't. Actually, I went there to attend my brother's graduation ceremony. Sam replied, you are not going away anywhere soon, are you? Zinnia, no, no, you missed me, didn't you? The learners, if you study above sentences, we will see that some sentences ends with a question, such as here, here, and here, here, and here. This question is different from WH question and yes no question. These are called tag questions. These are called tag questions. The learners, we also notice that if the statement, the learner's statement means the sentence what is given for making tag question is called statement. In the tag questions purpose, it is a nice party, isn't it? Here you see it is a statement or it is a sentence of affirmative sense. When the statement is affirmative, the tag is negative, that means is or not. The learners, I also tell you that in a tag question, the not will be contracted, always will be contracted, and then when the statement is negative, affirmative, tag will be negative. When the statement is negative, the tag will be affirmative. Hello. When the statement is negative, tag question will be affirmative, and here the statement is negative, then the tag will be affirmative, and here the statement is negative, tag question will be affirmative. The learners, these are the tag question. Actually, tag question is a kind of question asked by the speaker after a negative or affirmative statement. They are normally used in a speech when we want to confirm that something is true or not, or we encourage a reply from the person we are speaking to. Dear learners, now we are going to discuss how to form tag questions. And first I will show you a structure, then we will discuss some statement and their tag questions. Please look at the board. Structure, statement, then plus, comma, plus, auxiliary, verb, plus, subject, plus, sign of interrogation. The learners, this is the structure of making tag questions. According to the structure, I will show you an example. going there, comma, alone, we. Then the learners, these are the statement, then the comma, then auxiliary verb, then subject. Dear learners, please notice here, if the statement is affirmative or positive, then the auxiliary verb will be negative, and then that means track question will be negative. And if the statement is negative, the track question will be affirmative. And the negative form of auxiliary verb will be contracted. Will be contracted. Contracted. Then sign of interrogation. Dear learners, you must remember that in a test question, sign of interrogation is mandatory. If you do not say sign of interrogation, it will be it may express a bad information. Dear learners, here now I will show you some information related to tag question. The learners, in a tag question, the subject must be pronoun. Tasin is reading a book. The learners, here auxiliary verb is, here it will be isn't, as it is affirmative, that question will be negative, isn't. Then Tasin is a noun. It will be changed into pronoun. We know Tasin is a noun. She will be is pronoun. Then sign of interrogation. I think you have understood the topic, that means tag questions, and how we can make a tag question. Dear learners, now I will show you some sentences, and then I will discuss these sentences one by one. Then you will get some information or some rules how to make tag questions, and how we can make tech question related problem easy for you. The learners, read the following tech questions. First one, you have known Shumana for a long time. Dear learners, here in the statement there is an auxiliary verb have. So we use in the tech question have, and as it is an affirmative statement, we will use negative form in the tech question, then subject you and you. Dear learners, notice the second example. Shumana is Bangladeshi. Here the auxiliary verb is. So I use is. As it is affirmative statement, so I will use not contracted form. Then we will use subject of the tech question. The learners here, Shumana is a noun. We will use a pronoun in place of Shumana. The pronoun will be she. Then use sign of interrogation. The learners, notice here that in the statement here there is no auxiliary verb here. There is a principal verb here. If there is no auxiliary verb in the statement, in time of making tag questions, we must use do or does or did as an auxiliary verb. If the verb is a present form, we will use do or does, and then if the principal verb is with s or es, we must use does in the tag question. Here the verb is present form, so we will use does, and as it is affirmative form, we will use not, doesn't. Pronoun she, we will here use she, then sign of interrogation. These are the solution of this tag question. The learners then, number 4, she has lived here all her life. Here there is an auxiliary verb, so we will use here auxiliary verb has. Then it is affirmative, so we will use negative form, then subject she, then sign of interrogation. The learners, then follow in the statement there is no auxiliary verb here. There is a principal verb here. Dear learners, I told you that if there is no auxiliary verb in the statement, the auxiliary verb will be in the tag question do, does or did. If the verb is present form, the verb will be do or does, and then if the principal verb is in the first form, the auxiliary verb in the tag question will be did. And as it is affirmative sentence, so we will use not. Then subject she as a pronoun. So we will use she as subject here. Dear learners, then come to the number 6. Here the principal verb is speaks. There is no auxiliary verb here. Dear learners, we know the tag question is formed by auxiliary verb. Why we will not get auxiliary verb in a statement, we will use do, does or did as auxiliary verb. If the principal verb is present form, we must use do or does, and if the principal verb is first form, we will use did as the auxiliary verb in the tag question. As it is present form and it is as or yes with the principal verb here, we must use does. And as it is affirmative form, then we will use not. As a contracted form, then subject she, then sign of interrogation. Then dear learners, notice that here there is an auxiliary verb and it is modal auxiliary verb. Dear learners, if there is a modal auxiliary verb in a sentence or in a statement, it will be set in the tag question as a auxiliary verb, and as it is affirmative, so it the tag question will be negative. That means can will be negative, can't. Then subject she, then sign of interrogation. Dear learners, then there is a sentence here, wouldn't. As it is a negative form, then tag question will be affirmative form, that means would. Then subject she, then sign of interrogation. Dear learners, I think you are very clear about the tag question, or I think you will solve the tag question related problem very easily. And dear learners, I will show you some other tag questions which will be different from these tag questions. Dear learners, if we find some words in a statement, then we will consider it the statement as a negative. Dear learners, we know in a negative sentence we usually use not. There are some words which is not clearly negative sentence, but it is negative. First, I will show you the such words, uh, such as seldom, never, never, nothing, barely, little, few, no one, none, neither, etc. If we find these words in a sentence, we will consider the sentence as a negative sense, and the tag questions will be affirmative in this case. Look at the example. He learners hardly, etc. He hardly watches movie. Here, hardly is a negative word. So, we will use affirmative in the tag question. That means was a principal verb. So, do or does or did will be used in the tag question as a auxiliary, as an auxiliary verb. Here we will use does, doesn't he. The learners, I think you have understood the topic very clearly. For your better understanding, I will show you another example related to these words. He never came here. The learners, there is the word never. So it is a negative sentence. Sutram, the tag question will be affirmative. Did, sorry, does he here. Then will be did he. The learners, these are very important rule for the tag question. Then I will show you another rule for tag question. The learners, if everybody, nobody, somebody, no one, none, anybody, anybody, anybody is used in a statement in the tag question. The subject will be they. Will be they. They. I will show you some examples. Learners, nobody likes to be criticized. The learners, here the subject nobody. Certainly it is a negative word, so the tag will be affirmative, and the subject will be in the tag question they, and there is no auxiliary verb here. There is a principal verb here, so we'll use do or does. Dear learners, do, they. Dear learners, as they is a subject in the tag question, so the they receive do. For this reason here we use do in spite of having as or yes in the principal verb. Dear learners, I think you have understood the rules here. For your better understanding, I will show you another example. Everybody, then for everybody they. Dear learners, for everybody we have used they as a plural subject. So here we have used where instead of was. I think you have understood the topic very clearly. Dear learners, now I will give you some homework. You will try to solve these tech questions at your home, and I also request you, or I advise you to be careful to your health, and be safe for your health and heartiness. Dear learners, I will read the homework. Listen to me. Flowers are the gift of nature. Everybody loves flowers. Today, people use flowers in different occasions. We need flowers for decoration, Flowers are also used to greet important persons. Now people cultivate flowers. Flowers are also exported nowadays. These products can earn huge foreign currency. These are our homework. I will terminate our today's class. See you again. Thank you all. Be safe.